What's that? We are here to proclaim that this man right here, well, Zell is, that this man right here is starting everything. One of the most important scenes in MCU history and one of the lowest rated Marvel shows ever. It is your boy, Alpha Zell May, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. And of course, I'm joined with the best cast in the world. Right next to me is the one, the best in the Midwest on the mic, the one and only Unico Williams. How you doing today, Unico?
What's good? Let's get into this finale, man. Let's see.
Let's get into it. And of course, below us, we got Nostradamus himself. Even though this show went sort of the most basic you can do, so you can even be Nostradamus. Instead, it goes a tour, but we got him wondering.
So the man he just showed possibly is single-handedly going to be responsible for Civil War II. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah, that's why I'm optimistic. And then we got the one who called the show throughout because he picked the most simplest route that they gave you, and they went strictly with it throughout the whole show. Afro Gummy 765.
You know the vibes. I told you, niggas. Let's get this done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And of course, y'all know the episode is about Nick Fury. We see Nick out here coughing and sickly, and I'm like, oh, he ain't been sickly this whole show. He goes to meet Gravik, who gives us again great acting performances, some of the best acting performances in Marvel. And then he tells his story on how he had trust and Nick Fury was his hero. And so
You recognize this face?
It's the first man that I killed. He had
For
a
you.
family. He had a family and friends. Gave this dramatic response, and then he gets Harvest. Like, you must be crazy in your way. He activates Harvest, and then he goes for the kill, and then we realize that's not Nick Fury. That is Gaia, like we all predicted. That
I was gonna say roundabout. I was right. There were two Nick Furies in the end.
Yeah, so they both were Nick Fury, and well, they were both Nick Fury.
But she played it up perfectly. Her dropping the pills for the radiation sickness as she was going in, so she could fake like she was feeling wonky. Because that's why he was sickly, because they were in
radiation.
I was gonna say where all that radiation was. So fucking that's why they made sure to pop in when fucking he dropped the pills, and she played it. She played it right. The way she answered some of the questions, like the whole saying the snap was a relief. We don't know if that's how Nick really feels, but I mean,
maybe that's
we can all agree Nick Fury definitely didn't let her like mind scan this nigga. Like you can turn into me, but you don't get to look through the contents. You can get the packaging, but you don't get to look through the contents. That's too wild. Too many secrets.
Especially toward the end when we find out more. By the way, I think her name will change into something else, and that character gonna be mixed with another character that Tori already mentioned too.
I was gonna say I told niggas.
So it's gonna be interesting how they go. And then of course we had the roadie scene with the president. Yeah, Abigail Brand. And then we had the roadie scene in which he tried to convince the president to
they answered the question, yo. But we'll get there. They answered it.
The president chose Nick Fury. Nick Fury shoots Rhodey to Monte's great happiness.
R.I.P. Rava.
No, dang, happy.
No out of space. No out of space.
I was like,
prison
thank the Lord. Blow this man or woman, in that case, because it's for a woman. Blow them away. Like, just too much cash money stuff. Blow away. Oh my. And let me just get started on this spiel right now. First and foremost, we on this part now, but to the Gaia part, let me just say Gravik has got to be one of the dumbest enemies in like,
bruh, stupid as hell.
Like I don't understand.
Stupid as hell.
He was great at acting. His acting
machine with Fury in the middle of it. Kick him out. That's so dumb.
Why would you keep around a strategic master? Why do you leave that on the board?
Like, why would you put Fury in the middle, regardless if it's gonna kill him or not? You have what you want. Why leave Fury in the middle of it? You set yourself up for failure. That was out of all of this. You done locked the freaking scrolls away. You done planned World War III 5 different ways and all this, and you leave Fury in there to get your powers for what? Man, that is so stupid to me. Like I'm like, I don't make sense to me. Like,
don't meet your idols because you get dumber. Yeah.
So I was happy Rhodey got blown away after that. That's fine. But the simple fact that this man literally gave power. Oh my. Like at least Rhodey got blew away, but bro, that
he was trying to do his supervillain thing. He was like, "You finna watch me get super." And little do I know I'm gonna. But wait, this deters from the comics, and I know we don't like to talk about that, even though. Shout out to the comics for making this all so extra foreseeable. But Skrulls usually know when other Skrulls are around, like canonically, like they can tell each other apart. So it's kind of crazy that did Gravit's hatred for Nick Fury just overrun him to the point where he didn't realize that wasn't actually Nick Fury?
This man knows too, Tor. He knows where they are, who they are.
Yeah. Hey, this was all the perfect. Now we're seeing, and Nick sort of called it in this, looking like a one-term president, bro. Thunderbolt Ross gonna come in there and get it done.
I got a question for everybody because that's the main point, and we got to the fight and everything. So we're gonna talk about the fight. How do we feel about the fight?
I like that. I did not expect that we were going to use all of these because y'all saw the list of this DNA. I feel like this list was haphazardly put together because there's more than a few duplicates in this list of powers that they got. Like
we saw some in the fight.
Well, I mean, we saw the list. Freaking they got Thanos DNA. We know they've got all of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They had basically everybody that was at Endgame, plus they had the Abomination from She-Hulk. We know the Abomination was in freaking S.H.I.E.L.D. custody, so that would explain how they got the Abomination DNA. I mean, talk about going above and beyond. They basically gave us low-key the most powerful on-world entity at the moment. Like, low-key guy is the most powerful entity on planet Earth as of right now, anyways.
Depends on
Thor's off-world. She's smacking Black Panther or freaking... She's smacking Black Panther. She's smacking Captain America, Captain America.
To what extent she has everybody else's abilities?
Nigga, we saw. What do you mean? She's using Captain Marvel.
Fight. Yeah, sure.
But we saw the list of niggas. There's Thanos. She had a Thanos arm at a certain point, nigga.
Yeah, you see a Thanos arm to a punch. Like whatever. Like to what?
No, but that's how the Skrulls. They don't change.
What percentage of those powers?
Wait.
Monte, listen. The Skrulls don't change fully into the person. That's not how it works. They change the body part of the abilities they're using. So changing.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, but that's what I'm saying, so I don't understand what you're arguing against.
Like, my point is, you say she's the most powerful being on Earth. I said, one, we have to figure out
who's more powerful. Wanda, maybe.
Let him make his point.
I was making a point. He came in on me. What are you talking about?
I said, to what extent?
It's a back and forth. What you talking about?
I simply said, to what extent?
Joe wanted to be heard. I get it.
Let my speak.
It can be literally like to what, like say what percentage does she have of freaking Captain Marvel's abilities? Because yeah, she has all the glowing shit, and yeah, she was able to fly. And
that was binary.
We don't really know if she has the ability to level goddamn cities like Captain Marvel can. We don't know to what percentage do she have all their abilities. It's like some 5% all they stuff. So like, okay, cool, she can change it to them, use a little bit of their stuff, but not.
But I don't think it's not a percentage based thing. I don't believe. I don't think it's like you just get this portion of the power. I don't think that's how it works. I'm pretty sure you get the ability. Because look, in this picture right here, how else would she know how would she even know how to use Mantis's power outside of maybe she read Nick Fury gave her a shield file. I mean, how else would she know how to use?
Gave them the ability, so we will figure they gave her the innate ability to know how to use it.
I don't know but okay, but I'm just saying.
You don't really say like, oh, she didn't know how to use.
But I'm saying, who do we think reasonably? Not if it's not a percentage based thing. If it's not, because like I said, I don't think it's a percentage based thing. Who is more powerful? More powerful than her outside of Wanda, maybe on Earth right now.
Based thing, then yeah, she's the most powerful because she has everybody's abilities. But it wouldn't.
But I'm saying, but there's more powerful people. There's not on world.
No, bro, it would make sense to a little drop of everybody's DNA to give her full capabilities of all those heroes. Hell no, that don't even make remote sense.
But that, nigga, that's how it worked for the suit. What are you talking? It's not like when the originals, and I know we, once again, comic books, but I'm saying it's not like they got a percentage of each of the Fantastic Four's powers when they got them. They just got the fucking abilities.
No, when they got their abilities, they got their abilities. We talking
okay,
She had what's her face's DNA and was teleporting. She used Ghost's DNA and was teleporting in this fight.
Okay,
that's fine for abilities that don't really have like a high amount of scaling or some shit that don't matter. Like that's fine. Like him using some of Groot's goddamn tentacles, we don't necessarily think that all of a sudden a hole gets blasted through him and he'd be able to regenerate off that shit like Groot.
No, that's what the Extremis is for. The Extremis is the healing.
Because obviously that shit didn't work because he got a goddamn hole put in him and the shit didn't matter. So apparently
as she was using Captain Marvel's powers.
It doesn't matter if he's able.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? How does it not matter? The power is what killed him.
He can regen, right?
Let's end it. Let's end this combo because I think everybody can make their opinion. Tell us to comment. Do you agree with Tori or do you agree with Monte that y'all don't think she can use all the abilities of power, or do you believe it's comic book and they can use all of it? Let us know in the comments. Let's get Joe in here. Joe, your thoughts on the fight scene?
I just thought it looked really cool. I thought it looked real cool. That is a valid question, Monray, to ask. Is the full extent, like, is she now the Hulk? I was sitting there thinking, like, wait, so we have two Captain Marvels now, but that can't be. Do we really have fully capable Captain Marvel right now? That's a valid question. To know the extent, like, if she goes heads up with Captain Marvel, yes, she can mix up her powers, but she says Captain Marvel versus Gaia, who wins? I think that's a valid question to answer in regards to if she really is the most powerful being, I would say, in the universe.
That's why I said heroes on planet. Captain Marvel's not on Earth right now.
And that's cool, and I'm not arguing that. What I'm just saying is, what is the extent of that? I
think it'd be more of a time-based thing. It's not how much of the power that she can use; it's how long can she use it for. Is the way that I'd look at it.
I think the conjunction of the two. I think that's very good questions. But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed that fight scene. I didn't know that they were going to pull out all the stops like that. Like I thought that I smiled when she kicked Gaia when he kicked Gaia with
the Hulk leg. Yeah,
I thought that was funny. He had the purple shorts and everything, so I thought that was cool. I did catch that Abomination ear reference. Like, what did you need from Abomination at that time? Really? Like,
they had the arm. It was the Abomination arm too. It was the arm and the ear. She had,
which is cool, which also calls into question the transitioning thing. Like, if you got Hulk's leg, why can't you use Hulk's arm? Isn't he stronger than him?
Yeah, that was my problem. Like I said, they got a lot of duplicate powers in the DNA that they got. There's a lot of super strength. I mean, we saw him use the Black Ebony Mall's telekinesis. We saw, for some reason, he got his rings too instead of just his hand. He got his rings too. I was like, you got the jewelry too.
So with that being said, either Disney was flexing, CGI muscle, and then, or they like, let's show you what we can do, or let's see how cool this fight scene is. How many characters and Easter eggs can they see in this? I thought that was pretty cool. And then also when she had my homegirl Mantis came out, he woke back up from that. So that also tells me there might be some limiters on it as well, because he did wake up after she said, sleep. And that was smart of her to use that one when she did. But I enjoyed that scene, and that was good for a Disney series ending. Because, it definitely wasn't Scarlet Witch. That wasn't the most depth-defying fight scene we've seen on Disney Plus at this point as far as original series. But I think that's their most well-done fight, and I would say probably ending. But that was a good fight. I liked it.
Remember, your thoughts on the fight itself? So we heard just about the powers.
The fight was
power scale.
Okay, I relatively enjoyed it.
Power scale.
No, I think it was okay. I think it was relatively fine.
Some ugly.
The negative part I had on it was the fact that I thought it went down a little easy. It just more or less. I was like, okay, I figured like y'all got all these powers, you can go at
It
least a
was
little bit.
quicker than you thought it'd
And
be.
I was like, Gravity just went down. That one gut shot. I was like don't you have more like military abilities, fight skills and things of that nature than Guy does? I'm
Was
like,
she trained with him? Was he the commander of her group?
But no, he's trained and fought from a younger age than she has. And I was just
Since
like, I feel like he got a
1994.
little bit more experience. Not even that. Not even that. He had more experience using some of the abilities, not all of them that he had in Red. But like, I was like, you more used to scroll fighting abilities, and she ain't really struggled too much with you, bro. I was like, that just went down a little easy. Oh no, the fight was fine. I was just surprised that after all this smack talking and everything went. He went easier than I thought he would. But I was like, cool, so be it. So fight was solid 7 out of 10.
What I wish they would have did since he went down there easy is that all that stuff he was telling Nick Fury, he felt guilty about. So he kind of, you could like have a scene where he was like, I could got you, but I didn't, and then she got him or something like that. Because he did give a speech that would lead you to believe like, okay, he do feel guilty about this at the beginning. But
man,
it had some janky parts too if you just slowed it down. But other than that, it was really good.
I wish
I agree with what
like, go ahead and take out his brain thoughts, bro. Go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and just be like, since he's down there, go ahead and put your hand on his head, take all his thoughts, his brains, everything. Go ahead and take all the knowledge. Go ahead and do some evil. Let's go and do it. Let's go and do it. But she ain't do
that. We found out something that I think me and Tori caught on to. We're gonna talk about this after she beat Gaia. She went and saved everybody.
After Gaia beat Gravik.
After Gaia beat Gravik. We saw this. If y'all don't recognize this is the outfit he wore in Civil War.
Yeah, so we know everyone was still wearing the same clothes when they got snatched in. And the last time we saw him in that, so he wasn't there for damn near all of Phase 3. It was a Skrull.
So this is the getup he was in Civil War. I saw it, and most people caught on to that. That's when he was in the hospital, and I guess they got him then. It wasn't Endgame because he sure wouldn't be wearing that in Endgame.
It was Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War. Our boy, look at him, he back. Shout out to him. That's one of my favorite characters. So spot Ninja dude. But how y'all feel about this? How y'all feel about Rhodey? Did y'all like the fact that they didn't let the Endgame, or did y'all like after Civil War?
Like,
unfortunately, Terrence Howard's not getting the bag.
If I think it's right, I think it's after Civil War because it was more like, well, he's wearing I looked it up a little bit too. It's like he's wearing the hospital gown, and so that would make sense that after the accident that happened to him in Civil War, where he was paralyzed, that he might have got swapped out right then because he also needed help walking. So it means not only did
and then Captain America in the Captain America show, he didn't have because remember he had. In Endgame and shit, he had like the little leg braces that were walking for him. But then in the Captain America TV show, he didn't have those anymore, and he was back to walking regular.
So I would say it could be any point in
that. So it was basically whenever they switched her out, she still had to fake like she had the injury for so long before she could just get back to regular.
That's if it was that point. It could have been fresh after Civil War where he just, went.
That's what I was thinking. Well, no, not right after he got shot out. If they switched him right after he got shot out of the air, that would have been crazy.
Oh, not them. You take him to the hospital. You evaluate him and all that. He resting at one point. Hey, go ahead and swap him out right quick. Could have easily did it at that point. It's very possible.
I'm glad they at least somewhat answered the question.
But that ain't even the one that surprised me more. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, Joe. Your thoughts on this?
That was cool. No, like the whole time, I saw this. So it brought a thought to me when I was on Twitter. But yeah, to know that when Tony Stark died, that Rhodey wasn't there. He's got a lot to learn, man. He's going to learn a lot. Captain Rogers, he's an old man. That's if he's still alive at this point, if he didn't die from old age. So, with all that being said, he missed a lot. So now that you back in the fray, and once they put you back, back into the fray and debrief you on what's been going down the past, 5-10 years or 5 to 8 years. Hey, man, are you the new Iron Man? Like, can we bring you back? Are you about to bring up a protege? You know, I mean, it opens the door for Rhodey.
Well, aren't they doing like an Ironheart TV show?
I think they tried that in the
allegedly.
90s. I feel like they tried that in the 90s at some point for one. Oh, I was thinking of Iron Wheels, the wheelchair guy. But anyway, yeah, that's he just missed so much, and that's what bothers me. And so where do we go from here in the phase? What, we in 5 or about to go to 6?
He wasn't even the one that got me, to be honest. Like Rhodey, we figured Rhodey was already estimated could have been as far back as Iron Man 2. It wasn't him. It was the other guy.
At least it wasn't that far back. If it would have been since Iron Man 2, that would have been crazy.
The other guy leads me to believe they'd have infiltrated Wakanda. So that could be way worse than just random Rhodey. Because
there's definitely Skrulls in Wakanda.
Like, they done got into Wakanda if they done swapped him out. And it don't really matter like which point he got swapped out. They done infiltrated Wakanda if they was able to get to him. So
that's a huge plot point. That would be a huge plot point. The Skrulls
done got
either good or bad.
But to be fair to him, I think he recently got. Because he said, "What are you doing here, Rhodey? What are you doing here?" Meaning he is freshly there.
They done got into Wakanda and get into some Wakanda technology. Boy, that's a little worse. Now these
Skrulls with Black Panther suits is crazy.
But see, I don't really know what Sonya plans to do with it. Like, yeah, she's gonna help Gaia find the other Skrulls that are just out there because right now they're getting exterminated in the United States, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I don't really know what's the end game for Sonya. It's like, yeah, you gonna help Gaia, and then you gonna basically do the same shit Fury did. Like, how does this help you? Like,
I thought, bruh, I'm not gonna lie, I had that exact same thought. I was like, what exactly is she finna do?
Yeah, we got too many all-earth spies.
I guess she can give them a home in Russia. Like, she can do that. I guess she can just give them a home in Russia and just let them be protected in some.
Why can't we just go to the Garden Planet? It's a whole fucking planet.
Like, they're gonna give them a home in Russia, and then hopefully they can go and chill out with the Kree, because of what Fury doing. I'm just like, you basically
the Kree are in the. They're making peace with people now, so there's a chance. Because isn't that what they did in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Didn't they make peace with the what's-a-faces?
I mean, they just said that the Kree and them making peace with them now. I'm just like, I guess she just like, look, I have a temporary home for y'all here. Because to be fair, it probably ain't it's not as many Skrulls that's gonna be left over. Like, they finna go on the extermination race, as we can clearly see because of that stupid president.
Dark Reign lead up inbound.
I'm sorry, I can't get with that, bro. Like, I'm sorry, this is stupid. Like
one-term president.
He don't make sense to me. Like, that Rhodey was a Skrull. True enough. You also know that it was a Skrull that instrumentally helped you live. The attack on you anyway. Why would you go? And then Fury Fly told you that this is gonna be a bad idea, and you were helped saved by a Skrull. Why would you then go and literally try to exterminate not only the Skrulls, but
all aliens,
every alien or person not born on Earth
that wasn't born on Earth?
For a fact,
you gonna go fight the Asgardians? Or are you gonna go fight the Asgardians?
And you gonna systematically make them your enemy? Do you not see what you that's just
they got an amusement point. They might be good, Tor. They got
but I'm saying enter Thunderbolt Ross, yo. This is how Harrison Ford's getting in the MCU. This nigga making the doofus movie.
I don't know if he's gonna be the president. I think this dude's gonna be important for multiple reasons. Which is gonna get to our theory section, and then I'll let Joe go after my theory. My theory: this man leading to everything. This man right here, this is the most important scene to me. Why? Because I believe this leads into Thunderbolts. I believe it leads to Captain America, which is rumored today trying to get celestial DNA to make super soldiers. I think this is going to lead to the super soldier serum and Project X. I think this is going to lead to them wanting to attack all X-Men. I think all of this leads to this. I think this is the most, like I said, I think this is going to lead into X-Men. I don't think they're going to actually get to it, to after Secret War. I think this is going to start to lead up to all that stuff.
If you look at it, the machine that they used is the same machine that they used in the X-Men movie, in the Fox X-Men movies, to give them to take away the powers or whatever.
It's that far, bro. Like, literally, the Asgardians are living right in the United States. Like, this literally puts you in war.
But they don't want that smoke. Maybe Thunderbolt Ross wants that smoke though, because we know he's going to be president. We know he's going to be the president
on Earth. Like, that is a stupid move.
We already know.
They got an amusement park. I don't know if he's going after them. They got an amusement park.
Guardians and other people.
Bruh, Thunderbolt Ross. How else? Because think, if they're bringing in Thunderbolt Ross, they're going to have to go through turning him into the Red Hulk. So there's going to be, you know what I mean? We're going to get like the whole Dark Avengers scenario. That's where this is all leading.
That shit blows me, bro.
Joe, what's your thoughts on the presidency?
It takes us back and grounds us. And I think they're doing the best that they can to give it that. What's the show? The original Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Try and bring us back to Earth. And I like that part where Fury was, talking about, this. Why ain't you calling none of your special friends? Because you would think somebody with superpowers knew that the president got attacked. But it is what it is. But it makes it just like even Scarlet Witch. That was a show that quote unquote essentially was a little bit more down to earth. It's like we've been flying around the galaxy and fighting Planet Universal and planetary, definitely universal threat for sure. Now we got a Time Lord running around. I think it's cool that they kind of bring it back to like a more relatable kind of show that people can watch a little, that's not exactly super over the top. So I think that's cool. And they're setting up for that world because it shows that it was able to show us that that the MCU can be exciting outside of just straight up heroes. It can be full of just badasses and a couple of people with some slight powers and some people that have the ability and we can now unleash it. Super Scrolls, we can now unleash it personally. I will get a shirt with Super Scroll on it. They do exist and it is now allowed to be used and all being used from now on.
Even though they said it in that episode, good old episode 3.
I think
Super Scroll.
Like my theory.
What else would you call a scroll with superpowers?
Yeah, my thing is, I think this whole thing gonna lead up to after Secret Wars X-Men, because Secret War gonna be off planet based and magical. So I think on Earth it's gonna be the whole setup. They told you to watch Miss Marvel before this, and Miss Marvel has nothing to do with this show outside of she's a mutant. Which is
the fact that Fury, got blipped and the little bit of Fury backstory.
But like I said, it's all going to be on how Harrison Ford leads this Thunderbolts team, because we know we're getting President Ross because he's taken the place of Norman Osborn in this since the Spider-Man quandary.
I don't know if they could. I don't know. We'll see how they do it.
But I mean, they've already said that though. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's concrete. That
this is 616, right? This is 616, right?
Yeah, we don't know when he's gonna take over it though. That's the thing. We don't know.
But that's what I believe. That's why Nick Fury gave him the whole one-term president line. I'm pretty sure that was the nod to Thunderbolt Ross coming in.
But I do know the rumors of the story for him is that this man is gonna issue what's her name? The other woman that's in charge, because we got a lot of women in charge. So what's the name?
Oh man, it's the Barbie movie all over again.
What's
Yes, we do.
What's her name, Tor? From Seinfeld. What's her name?
I know her name was Elaine on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah. So her character, I just forgot now. I had it written down somewhere. I don't know what it.
Welcome to 2023 or 2023.
Yeah. So the rumor of Captain America movie is they're gonna try to get celestial powers to fight all these enemies that attack Earth. So I think that's gonna lead there. Then they're gonna lead to Thunderbolts, and then we're gonna find out probably some of the stronger characters gonna start showing up, and then we're gonna start getting the characters.
If we're getting Thunderbolts, that means we're gonna somehow get the Sentry in here.
Yeah, so I think the Sentry gonna be
which is crazy.
I think you'll get Blue Marvel. Hey, I'm for John Boyega to be Blue Marvel. That's what I'm for.
What's our next?
Think you should make him an adult baby
the Marvel
Black Panther.
And then I think it's Loki.
He should be young T'Challa grown up.
Yeah, I want John Boyega. And we saw him as a young one too. If you watch, they clone Tyrone. He was young in that too. They can do it with CGI with a less budget. So Joe, you saw it, Joe. They can do it with less budget. They made him younger. He was a kid, and I was like, "How
we've seen this happen. It can be done."
And they had less
technology.
Budget. They had less budget than $211 million, which y'all spent on this, and this is not getting that many views. Again, I think y'all could have made this a quick series.
Yeah, 200.
Well, hold on. Actually, they're talking Loki is the next up, right?
I think it's Loki.
Season 2 is coming
out until the end of the year, so I think it is Loki.
I think there's one show that's coming out before Loki season 2. I thought.
No,
the Marvels are.
Well, the movie, I don't know if the movie, The Marvels, comes out before then or not.
Let's see, Loki season 2.
I think it's Loki and the Echo.
Oh, Echo.
The Echo's
Echo.
Does Echo come before Loki though?
No, Echo's at the end of the year.
Yeah, Echo dropping all at one time. Which, by the way, everybody that saw it said it's amazing. Actually, which this is not normal. So everybody that saw it earlier said that's actually amazing. Usually they don't get this. I'm trying to see what day it was supposed to be.
My bad, y'all. Did y'all hear me get up to Ironheart? Or did
No.
where it's not?
No, we
I don't think
usually.
Ironheart's
Yeah, they are making an Iron. Yeah, I was gonna say,
October 6th is when Loki season 2. So November is when the Marvels come out. So okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
November,
We got
and then after that, that's when they're
season
coming.
2,
With
and then
that's when they're coming with Echo season 1 at the end of November.
Yeah, so it'd be.
Dang, so we got 3 months of nothing? Oh boy.
That's the
Well,
problem
we
with
got
Disney
Blue,
Plus.
we got Blue Beetle, but nothing MCU wise.
Yeah, there goes the Disney Plus subscription again.
They gonna laugh.
They get your money for 3 months.
Bro, they do. I keep telling people like, why Disney Plus not mark? Bro, they have 4 or 5 months with nothing on. Literally no new show. And I'm like, who's gonna pay for this? Instead of spending $211 million on every show you put out for 6 episodes, why don't you just put lower budget shows?
$211 million is wild for.
Yo, just imagine we had some higher budget Tubi shows on. Black people will watch all of them.
This nigga is
with the
about
guys that can
Tubi
shoot
lately. I
guns,
hope they
like-
better cut you a promo deal, bro.
Listen, I saw a dude shoot a girl, a black woman, a black man were shooting each other, and dude curved a bullet. And I was like, this is the stupidest, crazy shit I've seen in my life.
Yeah. I mean, they're about to come with the series really heavy. It looks like in 2024, and then we'll find. Then I think the only movie is coming out. Or the first movie is going to be.
Does the
Deadpool
writer and
2.
actors strike affect the timeline of any of these shows you guys?
100%.
think
There's rumors that Disney talking about putting the Marvel straight to Disney Plus because if they ain't got the actors to actually promote the movie,
It's
no
gonna
point
be
in promoting the movie.
kind of hard. That's what I was thinking.
So
Depending
they-
on how
they
long
Bob
the
Iger
strike
on the-
goes, this could.
Yeah.
And we got Daredevil coming too, don't we?
Next year?
Yeah,
That's what
That
it is.
that could be.
And Deadpool.
So I guess I'm just
Y'all
hoping that Disney.
Deadpool 3.
I'm just hoping that Disney has a real strong 2024 to end out the fourth quarter because they got a lot of work to do in 2024.
I think they lost the cash until they can get the Fantastic Four X-Men going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they gotta find a way to get the heavy hitters back in
I love
rotation.
this. I love
They
this.
just
but I'm being
they
honest.
rotated out one set of heavy hitters with getting the Avengers on out of there. Now they have to find a way to roll in your Fantastic Fours and your X-Men. You need that next line.
They're
of heavy
talking
hitters.
2025 for Fantastic Four. So I mean, man, people ain't doing nothing but
it's-
getting older, man. So
It's a heavy, but it's a heavy
I'm glad we're
lead
getting
up.
Hugh Jackman. Period. I'm glad we're getting Hugh Jackman.
I think that's
he's
why they're
been-
doing it too. I think that's
Yeah,
why
I
they're
mean,
doing it.
he's been Logan for 23 years.
You know they had to cut the super nice check though, because that's the whole reason Logan came out. He was like, I ain't doing Wolverine no more. I've been Wolverine for half my life at this point.
Yeah.
I also think that's
And
why
they were like,
Deadpool up.
the mouse rolls up with a couple $100 million. You're like, all right, man. I guess I put the claws back in me, Doc.
I think that's why they moved it up too, because they know they don't have heavy hitters right now, and people not. I'm just outside of Spider-Man, who made $1 billion. Who is the marketable character that you got as the face of your franchise?
You don't have anybody.
Iron Man works.
You got Brie Olsen. That's it.
Iron Man works
Who's
simply
not?
because Robert Downey Jr. is him. So Iron Man works because you got Samuel L. Jackson and Robert Downey Jr. in a movie together, and everybody like, oh, it's Iron Man, and Robert Downey Jr. was made for Iron Man. So
He was, bruh.
So even though he wasn't a heavy hitter, you have to find that next heavy hitter. I'm sorry,
He became a heavy hitter because of Iron Man, though. Like a real heavy.
I think
RDJ had some roles before Iron Man. I don't want to, but there's no arguing that once he became Iron Man, his career went to a whole different stratosphere.
so.
I can agree. He finally played somebody that sells toys.
That's a fact.
But my prediction is they brung Deadpool 3 up because they knew they need some names. Because I'm sorry, not having name. I'm talking about either a big name actor or big name character to bring people back. Because
You either got to have the star power or the franchise.
yeah.
Ideally, you have both, but you got to at least have one.
And I think because I'm looking at numbers and I look at the shows, and I got to be honest with you, when the show don't have a name in it, they don't do well. I'm just being honest.
Well, think this time they had it. I mean, come on, Don Cheadle, fucking Samuel L. Jackson.
But we knew them, but they was
Secret
always
Invasion had Secret
The
Invasion
Dragon
had names.
Queen, even though I couldn't
Yeah, I
tell
was
that
gonna
she
say
was.
Amelia Clark.
they were always side characters.
But
They were
that's
presented as
definitely.
side characters.
But I'm just saying, we can't say there weren't any names in this, and it still didn't do the greatest.
But I'm just saying
I
the
said
side.
Amelia Clark, and I was like, "Who? That can't be the queen."
I can't help it. Listen, my one misogynist.
Dragonstone.
This is my one misogynist take of the day. After watching all of Game of Thrones, sometimes I just end up seeing her naked, bro.
What?
Oh
Just
wow.
think about how many times we've seen her.
What a violation. But this is my prediction. I think they bring Deadpool 3. I think they're gonna introduce the Fox X-Men so people can be excited before they get their X-Men off, which will probably be in 2027 or something like that. So they're gonna bring in these names from Deadpool, use them to try to drum up. Because the two movies that did well was Doctor Strange and Ant-Man, two people that's already been established. I don't know how Captain America gonna do. I don't know how the Marvels
Captain America with Sam.
And the Marvels, I don't know if Brie Larson hate can carry this one up like it did the first.
Are they still gonna do like the armor war thing?
Yeah, that's gonna be hard too. I'm just saying.
They said Armor War is now going to be a movie instead of a show.
Oh, maybe it's that might be better then.
Yeah,
it might be better as a movie than a show.
And Loki does well because we know who Loki is again.
I was gonna say Loki is established at this point. You guys got lucky.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I don't know. Marvel, we fans of Marvel, so we're going to watch it. But casuals, you got to start bringing the names out, or at least names that's newer and not seen as side character. Like,
or you got to start making some new names.
Yeah.
With these big franchises that you have now.
Yeah, so I don't... Like, Ms. Marvel she's amazing as Ms. Marvel, but people didn't care. Young people cared. They got more young people than they ever have, but the old people just did not watch.
They got to get up on Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie got to get in the MCU. She does numbers no matter what.
Shut the party. But y'all any theories from y'all Murray? Then we're gonna go to Corin and Joe, and then we're gonna get out of here. This is the last episode, so it's a little long. I do apologize, but we wanted to get the theories out. What we think the future of. So two things, Murray. How you feel about the show and the future of the MCU, and then we'll go on through everybody and get out of here.
How I feel about the show. Let's see. The show itself, I think it's a pretty solid show. Like I said, it gives a different take and different spin rather than all the boom, pow, action, big glossy lights, everything. It's actually something that, gets you a bit more invested in plot, which I enjoy that about this show. So I think it makes the show good and gives it a good different feel. So I would say it's probably about middle of the pack, maybe towards the upper half of the shows that they've done thus far. Because like Loki is somewhat the same way, where it's not really a lot of just actions, a lot more like story and things told in that instance. So I'm good with that show. I think overall it's like maybe like the top half of the good shows for them. As far as the future goes, I think that president has screwed over everybody. Like, just gonna keep it being with you. I think the president has literally screwed everybody over. He is now in trying to prevent World War III. He has literally caused Civil War II. Like, he's literally made enemies of the Asgardians. He's made enemies of the Skrulls who was helping you. He's made enemies of every alien that's alive after Endgame that was literally saving the world. He's made enemies out of every single one of them. So that's from Thor, Doctor Strange will come back and be pissed. Literally every alien not born of Earth. The Guardians, if they ever decide to come back, they can't come back to Earth for the most part, other than Star-Lord's already here. Like, he's literally made battle sides off of stupidity. When it's like, bro, do you not realize your life was saved by a Skrull, and yet you're now biased against all of them? Like, just how stupid can you be? Like, at this point, it's like, dang, maybe Rhoda shouldn't be the only one with a bullet in his brain. Maybe we need to go ahead and just get rid of that one too. That, and then just vice president comes through, smooths things over, and we're gonna try this again. I'm just like, bro, why is the only political leader that ever had any sense in the entirety of their show was freaking Sonya? I don't quite get how the only one
the comic relief
politically was Sonya. From the beginning, she's the only one that had sense. I'm like, bro, y'all killing me, bro. So now, no matter what they show, the only other thing I need to know about the show is where in the timeline did this fit. And I figure we'll probably get an answer to that in like the Marvels, because I don't really know where the timeline of this show happens. But other than that, I mean, it's gonna be a rough ride. I can tell you, this is probably the beginning of a rough ride for the rest of the MCU for the rest of this saga. It's gonna be a little bit of a rough ride.
I feel you. Tor, how you felt about the show? How you feel about the future of the MCU?
All right. I think this show had so much potential. Just whether you know the source material or not, whether you had the rights to all the characters or not. I feel like the problem with this show was that it was so predictable. I love a good spy thriller, but I don't love every little thing being foreshadowed to the utmost degree. Like, but I think in the hierarchy of MCU shows, I think I put it in my top 5, probably 4 or 5. I think maybe I definitely Loki at 1, then WandaVision, then I'd probably I don't know. It might be 3 then, because I was thinking I don't know if I'd put that above Moon Knight or not, because we all know I didn't really care for Miss Marvel too much. So it's probably down there in the lower half. But I think it makes it into the top 5 on Samuel L. Jackson's flawless acting's back. As far as the future, like I said, I think this is going to lead us into the Thunderbolts. We'll see how it goes from there. Maybe because, like I said, we're taking a very Dark Reign-esque approach, but where we don't have Norman Osborn, Thunderbolt Ross is sort of. I feel like he's going to take that place. So him and his Thunderbolts will end up trying to throw down with freaking the United Forces of the aliens on Earth, probably something along those lines. I think visually it'll probably be amazing. Story-wise, I think Monte might have hit the nail on the head. It might be kind of rough sailing until you can get these big guns in there, till you can get an X-Men and a Fantastic Four in there. It might be a little choppy story-wise, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, the Marvels. I mean, like I said, it's hard to. We Marvel fans we love it, so we're gonna watch it. But other casuals be like, I don't know who that is. I don't even watch it. That's the problem I think they're having right now.
Like, look at Moon Knight.
Yeah. They did a little better because they had a known actor that was in it who was amazing. But so they did.
I don't know if I put Moon Knight over Secret Invasion or not.
All right, Joe, we're gonna give you the responsibility of leading us out and telling us your thoughts on the future of the MCU and how you felt about the show.
I as the avid proponent of just going along for the ride and just watching, I think this was an excellent watch. Like, even if you hadn't watched, the MCU before, this could be your first MCU movie. I don't think there was a lot you needed to watch before this, unless you wanted more. I mean, because it gave you backstory of Nick Fury. Now, I would tell you that you probably want to watch stuff that happened before this because it was amazing. But at the end of the day, you could jump into the MCU. You in this series, if you just somebody has Disney Plus, like, oh, Samuel L. Jackson, you would kind of understand and know what's going on. And so, I enjoyed it, just like I've enjoyed everything that, in a sense that I watched from Disney Plus in regards to the MCU. I've enjoyed. I've not hated anything. So as far as the future goes, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, Disney, because you've been entertaining me every 3-4 months for like at least a month and a half, and then I get a movie out of you sometimes, but then I'm back to the series. But ever since COVID, I've not had a problem with Disney Plus and the series and everything's going. I think that it's in good hands. I don't want to guess what's going to happen in the future. I just know that Fury is going to space with his girl to try and work something out with the Kree. The reason why the Skrulls are here on this planet in the first place. And then what else did this show tell me? I mean, and now we have a Super Skrull running around, and I wonder what that holds for the future. So when I watch this in the future, well, when I watch other things, I'll know who Guy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I remember her from Secret Invasion. What's her role in this? Wow, she answered Monterey's question. She does have an extent to her power, or she is all powerful. And we had it all wrong. So I'm excited. I'm enjoying. Keep dropping them, Disney, or keep on dropping them, Marvel. Period. I'm going to be there. Oh, and You can find me at UnicoWilliams.com. That's the link to everything I got. And then also UNIQO Williams. We are at 225 subscribers, man. So shout out to that. We're gonna keep on growing. I'm gonna keep on doing the movie threads, and I'm gonna keep on passing the rock, giving an alley-oop to the homies at Overall 99 Media. So check out our reviews and stuff there. But yeah, man, having a good time, enjoying life, and we just keep on rocking with our movement and keep rock with our movement the way that you should rock with the MCU. Just keep watching. You might leave for a second, but you'll be back. Because why? Listen, the series is over, but you can get our money or we'll get a new password. Free trial. But we'll be back. You'll be back.
We'll find a new show to talk about next week or something, so we'll have something coming up. But
Unico Williams takes Korean films.
Yes.
So all my K-pop homies, be ready.
Joe's gonna be on the channel watching Korean films and reviewing them for us.
I'm about to review the Adam Eve origin movie or special. So stay tuned for that.
And Bobby
review ready. Unico Williams is dropping that X tape on X. You ready for it? It's coming soon.
X tapes.
He's been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. He's getting ready to drop the X tapes on X.
I'm shaving the beard.
The X tapes are going dumb.
I'm rebranding. No beard. X tapes.
Yo, YouTube, that is Twitter. You can't get rid of us for that. That's Twitter. That's Twitter now. You can't get us in trouble. Demonetization. I'll get you, YouTube. I'll call you out, YouTube. So Tara and Monte, where can they find y'all real quick and we get out of here?
You already know at Afro Comedy 765 on all platforms. Of course, here on Overall 99 Media. Being an Overall 99 scumbag, you know vibes. Something flagrant, something inflammatory.
Monterey?
Everywhere it says Monterey Hudson, actually. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, even though it's probably dying at this point, but same thing.
Threads is crazy still.
Yo, my man said I'm gonna steal Twitter thing and I'm not gonna do nothing else. You ain't even add pictures yet, don't. All right, you know to find me, your boy Officer Man Overall 99 Media right here. I'll be there news all them channels, Overall 99 Anime, maybe Overall 99 Gaming, maybe soon, maybe perhaps. And I know y'all got this one question y'all been asking this whole show, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it for you.
Who are these niggas?